Hey everyone, I welcome you all to this video. And today in this video, we are going to discuss about group by functionality in Power Query Editor. So I will simply click here on transform data and it will open Power Query Editor for us. And now I will select column profiling based on entire data set. So this is the data that we have. We can maybe click on the view tab and we can uncheck this box. All right, now I will click on the home tab again. So this is the data that we have. We have already discussed about this data when we were discussing about the data types. Now let's say for this UPI data, let's discuss about some of the columns. So first of all, here we have a column that is named sent from bank. So this column actually tells you this is basically UPI transactions data. So there was a bank from which the money was sent, right? So here the name of that bank is written. And if I'll talk about this transaction column, then it actually tells you about the transaction amount, that what was the amount of the transaction that was done. So let's say in this data set, and we have several other columns as well. We have city column, we have age of the customer, we have gender of the customer, we have the bank in which the amount was received, then we have the balance in the customer's account in thousands, and then we have a customer ID to identify each customer uniquely, and then we have the age group column that tells you about the age group of the customer. So let's say there's a requirement wherein we want to find out the total transactions for all different banks that we have. So if I'll further click on the drop down in the sent from bank column, so you can see that we have Axis Bank, HDFC, ICICI, Credit B, and Union Bank. So we have 5 different banks. So for all these 5 different banks, we want total transaction amounts or the total transactions which are present in our data set. So I will simply click on OK. And in order to achieve this, either in the home tab, you have this group by functionality, or you can click on the transform tab as well, and you can simply click on group by. Now, there are 2 options, either basic or advanced. Since as of now, we want to group by only one column, that is sent from bank column. That's why I have chosen basic functionality. And since we want to find out the sum of the values in the transaction column, so I will have to name the new column that will be formed. So first column in the output that will be present will be the sent from bank column. Distinct bank names will be present in that column. And in the second column, we will have sum of transactions, the total transactions that have occurred. So I will name the new column that is going to be formed as sum of transactions. And here you need to provide the operation that is going to be performed. So sum will be performed for the values present in the transaction column. So here you need to specify the transaction column, and when you will click on OK, you can see that total transactions are now being shown for these different banks. So this is how group by works. It will basically group the records and will give you the desired aggregated output. Now let's say, also I would like to tell you one thing, that here on the right hand side, you can see that we have something called applied steps. So whatever steps we have performed in the Power Query Editor, all those steps are tracked here. If you want to cancel a step and you want to go back, you can achieve that from here. So let's say I want to go back to the original state where this data was not grouped by the data was basically not grouped, and I want to go back to the original state. So I will simply cross it, that is grouped rows, and then, all right, this is the data that we have. Now let's say we want to find out the total transactions for each bank in each city, right? So here we have different cities. We have Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Mumbai, right? So for example, let's say if I'll talk about Axis Bank, then Axis Bank, Bangalore, total transactions, Axis Bank, Chennai, total transactions, Axis Bank, Delhi, total transactions, Axis Bank, Hyderabad, total transactions, and Axis Bank, Mumbai, total transactions. Similarly, for all other banks and all other city combinations, bank-city combinations, we want total transactions. So in this case, we will have to use more than one columns in the group by, and let's see how we can achieve that. So I will simply click here on group by under transform tab, and since we have more than one column, so I'll select advanced. The first column that we are going to use is nothing but the sent from bank column, and the second column that we are going to use is city column. So we can specify city here. You can add grouping and specify city. The new column that we are going to get will be named total transactions. And the operation that is to be performed is the sum operation, that is for each bank and each city. All the transactions will be summed up. And the column for which the values are to be added is the transaction column. So we will specify it here. And now simply click on OK. So now you can see that for each bank and each city, the total amount of transactions or total transactions are available in the third column. If I sort it in the ascending order for the banks, then you can see first record, Axis Bank Delhi, second Axis Bank Mumbai. For Axis Bank, different cities, total transactions are shown. Then for HDFC, from record number 6 to record number 10, HDFC, different cities, total transactions are shown. Similarly, for all other banks which are present in our dataset and different cities which are present in our dataset, total transactions are shown. So in this manner, we can simply use the group by functionality in Power Query Editor, and this is very useful. At times we need to group the data, we need to aggregate the data, we want an aggregated form of the data at certain grains and certain levels. So for all those cases and situations, this group by functionality is very useful. I hope this video was helpful. There is one more thing that I would like to talk about. So let's say if I'll click on Home tab, and let's say there are some changes that we made to this UPI table. Let's say I do not want to apply these changes. It's okay, we learned that how group by can be used, but we don't want to apply the change. We want the original state of the data to be there, and we want to go back to the report view. So I will click here on the drop down and I will simply click on close. So discard changes, discard. Now if I will go back to the Power Query Editor again to check the state of my UPI data, then you can see that it is in the original state. And also in the applied steps, you can see that the steps that we performed of group by are not available here now. So I hope this video was helpful. We'll meet in the next session. Till then, thank you. Bye-bye.